Office hours with Macromolecules.
Hello and welcome to an extremely special panel. Tonight, our guests are some of the most important and only panelists we have ever hosted on this channel. We are pleased to welcome four of the most important elements of your everyday life. Please give a warm welcome to the Macromolecules. Before we transition into questions from the audience, I think it would be incredibly helpful if our guests took a little bit of time to introduce themselves. Also, just a quick reminder that we do not allow the recording and distribution of this panel, and the views of our panelists do not necessarily reflect the views of the University of Chicago.
All right, so I'll start. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren the Lipid, and I have many roles within the body. I can take the form of saturated or unsaturated fatty acids, waxes, steroid hormones, glycerides, and many other different things. You could probably recognize me best within the phospholipid bilayer of the cell membrane, the structure that keeps the cell wall intact and lets the cell function properly. And because I play a big role within the body, I'm really excited to answer your questions. I'm very excited.
Hey y'all, my name is Chloe the Carbohydrate. I'm the one who everyone loves the most. I provide energy, structure, and I am the best food. Everywhere you look, I'm there. Pasta, me. Rice, me. Potatoes, me again. There's no question that I'm the most important macromolecule. Ask me anything you want and I can back it up.
What's good, guys? I'm Nelly, the nucleic acid. I hold every bit of genetic material that keeps you alive and helps your body function. That brown hair? That was me. Your green eyes? You know I did that. I'm even the one who makes cilantro taste like soap for some of you. Happy to be on the panel. Ask me whatever you want.
What's up, dudes? My name is Chad, and I'm a massive freaking protein. I'm responsible for all sorts of things in the cell, from giving the cell structure to transporting nutrients and even protecting against disease. Thanks for having me on. I'm totally stoked to be here.
Hey, audience, please feel free to ask any of your questions. Anyone? Oh, yes, audience member, you first.
Hey guys, huge fan here. I've always wondered what you all are even made out of anyway.
All right, so I am the most diverse in structure variation among all the different macromolecules, but every version of myself has some shared traits. So first of all, I'm made of different groupings of hydrocarbon, and I'm always hydrophobic. This means that I'm repelled by water, and I'm also insoluble in water, and that my different formations are different formations of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Well, just like lipids, I am made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, also known as CHO. The ratio of the elements determines what I do. However, all my forms impact humans immensely. When I'm in monosaccharides, I can be glucose, which is the sugar in your body that you use for energy. When I'm a disaccharide, I can be your favorite thing in the world, sucrose, which is a fancy name for table sugar. I am in almost anything sweet, and I can change forms through dehydration or hydrolysis.
So, nucleic acids like me come in two different forms, DNA and RNA. For DNA, I'm made up of a bunch of different nucleotides, including A, G, C, T, and U nucleotides. Each one of these contains a phosphate group, a sugar group, and a nitrogen base. When I'm taking the form of RNA, I'm made of a ribose nucleotide, which is a nitrogenous base appended to a ribose sugar. I also have the same, in this case, I have the same bases as DNA, except I have uracil, which replaces thymine in DNA normally.
Well, I'm made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, which are all in amino acids that are linked together through peptide bonds, forming a polypeptide chain. I can be in 4 different structures. My primary structure is when amino acids form a chain in a unique order, with my R group differentiating me from other proteins. My secondary structure is when my chain folds and coils to become 3D. Sometimes it looks like a spring or an alpha helix, and other times it looks folded, and we call that a beta-pleated sheet. My tertiary structure occurs after my polypeptide chain folds up, and I begin forming hydrogen bonds and ionic bonds to hold my complex shape. On special days, I can go to my quaternary structure, where I link up with another complex protein molecule.
Hi, a super great answer so far. Personally, I'm a professional student for my job, so I was curious what your day job is, and where do you go to do your job?
All right, well, I have an important role in the body because I provide cell structure in the same way a cell provides a body structure. So like I mentioned before, I can be in the cell membrane as a phospholipid bilayer, or as fat in the body, or waxes that coat plants, and I am also an essential part of hormones throughout the body. The hydrocarbons that mainly make me up are very good at storing energy because they're in their most reduced form. And so along with storing energy and providing structure, I can also regulate growth, and are also necessary for digestion and insulation. I come from the excess carbs from the food you eat, and so these carbs undergo the process of lipogenesis in the endoplasmic reticulum, in which fatty acids are synthesized into acetyl coenzyme A. But there are some fatty acids, like omega-3s, that can't be synthesized in mammalian cells, so you need to ingest it through food or through vitamins.
Well, my job is to give you short-term energy, and in some organisms store energy, and in plants provide structure. I provide fuel for the central nervous system and energy for working muscles. I can be found in all restaurants. I am in fructose, which is in sugar, which is in fruit, galactose, which is found in milk, products such as potatoes, bread, and corn. These are all the things people eat in order to stay healthy and have energy. However, I'm also in candy, soda, and syrup. These are not good for you if you have had too much, and it can cause a lot of health issues. I work to keep people energized and provide them with things they need to have a great day. But
So my job is to transfer instructions from the nucleus to the ribosomes, which then make proteins and carry out functions in the cell. I live in the nucleus, in the cytoplasm, and in ribosomes. I have a bunch of different homes. In order to make proteins, my job is to ensure transcription and translation is carried out as smoothly as possible. I do this by having 3 different forms of myself when I'm an RNA nucleic acid. So there's messenger RNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomal RNA.
I do a lot of different jobs, from providing structural support to acting as an enzyme to being those pesky hormones that cause your acne breakouts. When I'm an enzyme, I act as a catalyst in biochemical reactions like digestion. I have to be specific to my substrate, the reactant that binds to me. I can help with breakdown and synthesis reactions. I break down my substrate, so then I am known as a catabolic enzyme. When I'm a hormone, I control and regulate physiological processes like growth, metabolism, and reproduction. I am present throughout the entire body because I play such a big role in development.
Great work with the panel, guys. I thought I already knew a lot about y'all, but I still learned a lot today. What are some facts about yourself that you think we should all know as audience members?
One thing a lot of people don't know about lipids is that lipids are essential for reproduction because of the roles they play in hormones. A lot of hormones are derived from lipids, including the hormones progesterone and estrogen, as well as testosterone. And many people know these as the sexual reproduction hormones. So I'm responsible for determining male and female sexual characteristics like sperm production, the menstrual cycle, and or their physical physique.
Something you guys should know about me is I can cause lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance happens when people are unable to digest the sugar in milk. This is due to the lack of lactase enzymes in the body, which creates problems as the lactose passes through the small intestines. Also, a number of medically important antibiotics such as streptomycin and carbohydrate derivatives are also from me. And finally, I may compose of 80% of the total caloric intake in the human diet at any given time.
So a few quick and spicy facts about me. First of all, every human being shares 99.9% of their DNA with every other human. That's pretty crazy, right? And 40% of your genetic sequence is shared with a banana. Yeah, a banana. DNA is also so long that if you could type 60 words per minute, 8 hours a day, it would take about 50 years to type out the entire human genome. And that's just in one cell. If you were to uncoil and line up all of the DNA in one grown human being, it would be about 10 billion meters long. You might think that's a ton of information, but actually genes only make up about 1 to 3% of the overall genome. The rest just controls the activity of your genes. I'm a lot more complex than you might think.
First off, you should know that your hair and nails are all made of a form of me called keratin. That's right, so if you want good-looking hair, you better stake up. Also, there's so many kinds of proteins that have some crazy names. Pikachurin, for example, is a retinal protein named after a Pokemon. There's even a protein named Sonic Hedgehog, which helps create the front part of your brain.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Can we just get a quick closing statement from all of you before we end the panel?
Yeah, so I hope that you guys all learned a lot about the role of lipids. I feel like we're pretty underrated in the body and people don't really know about what we do. So I hope this was a really enlightening experience.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to give you a small glimpse into my role to see how I impact yours. I'm in what you eat, I give you energy, and I provide structure to your leafy friends. I'm good for you, and you need me, but not too much of me, or else you'll face a lot of health problems.
Well, thank you guys for letting me come out and answer some of your questions today. I really enjoyed giving you a glimpse into my life as DNA and RNA. I'm the backbone of what makes you, you. Just remember not to take me for granted.
Guess it's time for me to be out. It was dope being here and helping you guys learn why the protein is the best macromolecule. From moving oxygen around your body to combating diseases, and to, of course, pumping iron in the gym, protein is super important to your daily life. Feel free to hit me up at Chad the Gains King on Twitter or Instagram if you guys have any more questions or just want me to critique your lifting routine. Later.
Let's give a big round of applause to our macromolecules. They truly are vital to your everyday bodily functions. Think back to everything that they've told you during this panel and keep that in mind as you move forward. As you go about your lives, try to notice these macromolecules around and how they impact you. I hope you paid attention. There will be a test on this information. Godspeed and good luck.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
All the information in this video is published in good faith for general information purposes only. Macromolecules are not actually people, but rather molecular organisms. Any actions you take upon this information you find on the video is strictly your own risk. Macromolecules will not be liable for any losses or damages in connection with the use of our video. No macromolecule or audience member was harmed in the making of this video.